Hello, this is OldCrowBalthazor, and welcome to Balthazar Strategic Arcana. This is my continuing multiplayer match versus Taxman the Total Realism Project mod for Strategic Command. We're 2 war in Europe. I'm the Axis, he's the Allies. This, I believe, is the last turn. This would be episode 152. According to my YouTube schedule, this will be New Year's Eve. So happy New Year's Eve, and have a happy New Year's, everybody. Yeah, it's in bright green. You must have took Berlin. So I intend well, we'll watch the replay and do an AR. Unscripted, so I don't know where we're going to go with it. Well, I thank Taxman, by the way, for a great game. This has been fun. There are later versions of this mod, so I want to thank Dave Martinez for letting us play this thing, and he has made some changes. There's a link in the description. Yeah, there's a bunch of changes, actually, for this, and then TRP World. That's a big monster. I think this is big. I haven't really sampled that yet. I downloaded one of the latest versions and was looking at the map and everything. It's big. If I did a YouTube series with somebody, I could see 2-hour-long terms. In some cases, anyway. Oh my God! Think you got enough? The Allies did take some damage. Oh, the sound is up. What's up with that? Oh, that's all right. Well, curious to see losses and everything. We're going to go look at the charts and everything. It should allow me, till this is all done, to go look at his side too. Got a lot of planes, man. The west, lots of planes. Look at all those. Look at all that air power. Almost looks like it outnumbers the land units. And there's the Soviet juggernaut. And he just hurled his men at us. I mean, they took a lot of losses. All right. Here's downfall. Again, I wish I would have kept the sub. Would have role-played it trying to get to Argentina if anyone's just jumping in. But I lost it on a suicide mission outside of the Kiel Canal not too long ago. I thought about it after I lost it. Oh, God, you know, it'd be fun to see if I could try to sneak out. Take the long way down to Argentina. At least it was South American coast, right? Get off the first beach you see. Might have to learn Portuguese and on the way into learning Spanish. A lot of German speakers in Paraguay. If you got in Paraguay, you'd be pretty safe at this time of year, or time of the century. Curious to see who's going to get Berlin. Get it to the west. It's got Italian units there nearby. Well, the irony of that, if that one was the one that got the final blow and moved in. Italian motorized. Well, that did it. Paratroopers. I don't know if that's 82nd or... Yeah, they fell right in the hands of the Soviets. Brutal, man. Might as well finish the regime off, right? It would be wild to be able to see the West against the East. I think with the Western Allies, their air power would probably dominate, but, you know, if they didn't recover their fighting spirit, the Americans especially, well, and the British too, they might get degraded. I don't know. Who knows? There'd be a big fight. Look at all that armor he's got. Army's going to try to sweep every last one. That means all I got left is units in Malta and Norway. Yeah, even the HQs can fight back. Look at that Guardian, just got tore up, man. Soviets landing at Peenemünde. Who's going to get the rocket attack? Well, there isn't much because I didn't research it. Now, if rockets were a little more effective, it might be worth buying. Or I could see if the Germans were to send it in the east, then they'd have the leeway to go and start getting into rockets because they'd have room and time, like maybe all the way to 1947. I think that's Manstein. Good Lord, take a lot of damage. I do like it in this mod that the HQs are kind of quasi-combat units. I mean, they got a little bit of bite to them for defense. So we got some folks up there by Stralsund. They're going to try to see if they can make it to Sweden, get them turned. I don't think so. Don't look like it. Maybe handfuls anyway. We surrender. Well, the French, they do got to get their licks in, don't they? Just think about this. Berlin fell. These guys want to go home. They're suffering some serious damage. Oh, there we go. French. Only gets one attack because they don't have attack. Enjoy yourself there, Taxman. Strasbourg's probably leveled. Well, the French want it back. There's still Germans left over in Rostock. Well, they surrender. Interesting lines here, man. Oh, he got into Athens, man. Yeah, okay. Oh, what the hell? Is that to push around Stalin? Intimidate him? Yeah, interesting. That would be a hell of a game, man. Soviets versus the West. Talks broke down. You know, the Americans aren't firmly in control of Berlin. I mean, they have infantry there, but look at those monsters that are right next door. And Stalin 2s and God knows what. All right. Well, let's see if we can do an airfield. Should gray out. Let's see. Well, first we should see a decisive Allied victory. I would say that you might want to modify their. Go look at World at War's German victory conditions. It's 4 So if you hold out, God, that's a lot of units dead. Anyway, yeah, they're all gone. So maybe you might, even if things turn against you as an Axis, Allied decisive victory. No, Germany surrendered. Allied decisive victory. How apt. Soviets and American soldier. How long are those smiles going to be? Okay, we're great. So we can go look at. Let's go look at the reports. Let's go look at detailed losses here, real quick. I'm going to just kind of linger. I'm real curious about the Soviets. Oh, here's the German. Oh my God. Here's raw numbers down here. Yeah, towards the end. We lost a lot. Americans didn't lose too many whole units. I'm curious as how many. I hardly killed any of his armored corps, and that was a problem throughout the. How many did I manage? There's a mechanized. 5 of those. Yeah, only 1. I only managed to liquidate 1. He got mine, and I'd rebuild them back, and it'd take months and months. So that was a big problem. The British managed to kill 1, a couple divisions. Yeah, always a ton of infantry. Here's total losses. 187 for the USSR. And then 302, of course, at the end. My God, look at the losses. The French, not so bad. Mostly at the beginning of the war. UK, it's a fair amount. Americans, hardly anything. Air-wise, yeah, I only got to get a clip a couple of them. I ended up having to dismantle a bunch of my bombers too, so I don't know if that reflects on losses. I doubt it. Maybe it does. Virtually the whole Navy. Oh. Let's go look at the British. Let's go look at their national morale now. They're down to 84. The Americans, 87. Oh, God. Nothing you can do against that. That would be a big bearing if there was a conflict between the Bolsheviks and the Soviets in the West. Yeah, we're done. MPPs. Let's see. Let's go to the British. Total lost. He took lots of damage there in his final assaults, huh? The British. Yeah. Look at that. Wow. How about the Soviets? You know, he was able to keep up. Look at the money they were pulling in at the end there. God dang, there's Americans again. British. Wow. That's Italians. Well, this is when they switched sides. Germany. Yeah, here's the beginning. Here's the winter. First winter. Then it started getting rough. We only got a few lulls. And then after this, boom. Oh, I'm not really interested in plunder, but we'll look. Research. He was on his way to jets. I couldn't get into this last tech. He hardly did anything with anti-tank weapons. No, but the British. Oh, he was lagging industrial tech too. It was taking forever. He's almost at 5 of the British. And, yeah, advanced tanks 5. Wow. Not really curious about the Americans. So the Americans were on the 5. 2 anti-tank. So his heavy bombers are 2 and 3 when they started really hurting me. Yeah, he didn't do any more industrial tech. He was doing production tech. Amphib was up to 4. Yeah. And a sub 2. What was the British? Yeah. And air 3. All right. Soviets. They were on their way too. Huh. Look at the fighters. Wow. Germany. Yeah. I never kept this going. That probably really hurt me. I don't know how bad though. Once I started having mounting losses, I just couldn't even justify getting this. So industrial tech, yeah, we managed to get to 3. We couldn't go any further in production 4. I was striving for anti-air defense 4 and striving for advanced tanks. So I was ahead of everybody, advanced tanks, but well, it didn't do me any good, did it? Yeah. All right, so, wow, oh God. So at the beginning of the campaign, we did well. We took Malta. It took a while, but we managed to take Malta. So now in the latest version, he's gonna restrict the number of Axis unit or any units between Tripoli and Alexandria to 15 each. Now I sent an armored corps down, and I had 4 panzer divisions. I didn't bring another armored corps down, and I did not know Rommel was going to get 2 divisions. And I already had 2 down here I sent. I thought that was going to be sufficient. Another thing is I was worried that if I had too many corps down here, armored corps down here, I might have got through Alamein. I might have been able to take Alexandria, but I was afraid that get into Barbarossa, and I'd have these those 2 corps there, which I really, at least I needed one of them up here. I would have got stuck in this business anyway, and I wouldn't have enough juice for Barbarossa to do Barbarossa right early on. Another thing is I was mounting casualties here. I could have pulled on the coals here and kept the Luftwaffe down, but I pulled them off for Barbarossa. So there's that. So I don't know if I did right or wrong. I probably could have, if I would have wanted to stick with Egypt, if I would have took this, I would have hamstrung the British really bad. But the Soviets, now Barbarossa, and in this mod, let's see here, let's turn this off. Yeah, okay. I did not know. I thought in this mod that, well, when you get triggers, Soviet mobilization triggers like taking Belgrade and whatnot, and too many units in this area within 10 hexes Warsaw, that his mobilization would be going up in big chunks. Well, it doesn't. It only went up. Only found out late. They only went up 1 or 2%, and that was the mod developers' decision to do that. And I actually am with it. The thing is I held off. Instead of walking men in, I could have watched his mobilization go up really slow, and I could have saved a lot of money on transport and stuff. And then I waited a turn because I transported units here in Army Group South, but I want them on board so I could liquidate the whole army Soviet army group down here, which I managed to do. But I held off and didn't do it until mid-June, just a turn before historical, or so early June. I could have went in May. I wouldn't have got all these things, but it probably, if I would have had that one extra turn or two, I might have been able to take Moscow. Because I got lucky, but I didn't know about the weather either. I got lucky twice with weather in like November and December, clear weather. So I managed to get right here to Moscow and right here. So I bet he was sweating it, but then it went bad quick with the blizzard and everything like that. The next year I was able to take Leningrad. Okay, I was that close, so why not? And then taking Volkhov is probably okay, but I used a lot of resources to try to push beyond. I was hoping I'd be able to break them here and get into Tikhvin. And then I wouldn't have any Soviet opposition at all except for here, and I could block them or, do something. But what I did is I segued, while I was doing that, I segued down 42 to go after Rostov and then Kalach. And this I managed to take, but it took a few turns. But when I went after Kalach, I was already worn out, and then I really hammered myself against him. And I couldn't do it. Now, what I probably could have did, instead of going after Rostov, I would have had to keep a line here, and he might have pressed against me. I was worried about it. That's why I wanted to at least take this. And I stopped here. But when I should have, after that or during that, I should have pulled all my resources here at Voronezh and took this out. That's just, Borisovglebsk and Tambov. Because that would have effectively, I could have came down this way if I wanted Stalingrad, but better, I would secure this whole area, and any opposition that would come this way, well, his whole flank would have been exposed. Might even, he might have been able to block all this here. It's kind of difficult, but that would have helped me out a lot. Or I could have went down here because he didn't have any fortifications here at the time. He did have a big chunk of resources, units. He did have forces here, but it ended up pushing on me here and here. So that was a mistake. Another mistake is, okay, we got focused in Italy and holding Sicily as much as we could. We were doing pretty well. I mean, he was going to eventually take the island like he did. And I brought the Luftwaffe down here, and I should have left it in the USSR. I thought I'd be able to pound him here. It turned out this was a whole aircraft carrier full of aircraft that the Allies had. And I managed to kill one unit, but he retaliated and took out three key units, and strategic bomber was almost destroyed. What was it, a tactical bomber and a medium bomber. And my fighters were all tore up. My other bombers were all tore up. And I could have left him. It was in the spring of 43. I could have left him over here and really did some damage. I might even be able to blast through here, at least take this, and maybe came from the southeast. Didn't do that. So there was that. So I was totally focused on that. And I had a lot of infantry coming that was earmarked to go into France. I had a lot of fortifications here. And I was at least holding the towns and the ports. But I didn't get them there fast enough. I was surprised. I had two strategic surprises against me. First, that he pulled off a torch as early as he did. It was a shoestring torch too, but he did a good job. Taxman did. So I was surprised. I was expecting one, but not for a couple months. And I thought I would be able to get in here and hold them down for a while and have enough room for aircraft and all that. Thing is, you can't be out everywhere at once, but at least slow them down. It didn't work out. But then he had the early D-Day, and I had a bunch of units in the queue, and they were showing up in Germany, and he made the landings. And, almost a year short, it was a 43 instead of a 44. That totally, I thought maybe he might be able to pull off some raids or something like that. I thought I knew that the UK wasn't pulling in a lot of money, and the Americans were still ramping up. But he was able to get in there, and there was no way I could dislodge him, because I did want to have a couple armor corps, at least two working it, and man all these forts and give me time to decide what to do. I might have had to go stop everything over here, but I would have been at least way out here like I was, right? And pool enough resources to maybe kill them on the beaches, and then you have to rinse and repeat. But I think ultimately the tide turned in December of 41, when I was so close to Moscow. And at 42, I probably should have put all my effort maybe in Moscow and take it. If I would have took Moscow, I would have owned all this right here. there is not much he would be able to do. He would have to fall back on Gorky C. He already started digging lines in anticipation of that. And, you know, I could have held him, you know, for quite a while. He would have to come at me. Would have been, you know, here. Who knows, maybe and push into here and here, but at least here. And here in Tambov, he would have been crippled. Now, and it's left us alone. Now, he would have been strong down there, but I think I would have had an easier time. Would have went lasted a lot longer. Well, anyway, here's the AAR. I can't think of anything else, though, but thanks everybody for watching this series. It has been fun. And again, thanks to Dave Martinez for making this killer mod, and especially the Taxman. We had a good time doing this. We kind of went into the undiscovered country because it was you know, we both were testing before, and you know, came up with some ideas we thought for improvements. And anyway, we decided this was good enough to play out, and so there you go. So yeah, killer mod, and there is a TRP world, and there's later versions of this. So anyway, with that, well, this is OldCrowBalthazor. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the virtual battlefields. I am gone, and have a happy New Year.